Hi again everyone, Scarlet Popcorn fan here, and in this video I want to do a bit of a versus, as I guess you could say. I want to talk about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet a little bit more, kind of like as a continuation of my previous video, because something else that was revealed about Scarlet and Violet in regards to the character's customization that was revealed after the direct that was revealed is that you not only, do you get to change the character's clothes, but I've heard that you can also change the character's eye shape. Like you can actually change certain features of your character's face, which is something that's definitely rather interesting. It adds a lot more, doesn't it? It adds a lot more personality to the character. So you can change the character's eye shape, the eye color. So that's pretty fascinating. And because of that, I kind of want to compare Pokemon Scarlet and Violet to Hogwarts Legacy. I'm really excited for both. Hogwarts Legacy, I am excited for it, but there has barely been anything since that State of Play that was released. I think, when was it? Back in June? I think, was when that Hogwarts Legacy State of Play was revealed or released on YouTube or whatever, and there's been hardly any information in regards to Hogwarts Legacy, and it's unfortunate because there's no release date yet, and it's supposedly coming out later this year, which has me worried a little bit because it's August already, and that worries me a little bit that they might delay Hogwarts Legacy to early next year, maybe, which, that would be unfortunate, because, we'd have to wait longer for Hogwarts Legacy. But, yeah, speaking of what I was just saying about Hogwarts Legacy is that both Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and Hogwarts Legacy, both games are fully open world, and the customization, it's definitely going to be similar to a degree because you can change the character's clothes, and you can change the character's face and skin tone, hair color, eye color. Similar aspects of Scarlet and Violet are also in Hogwarts Legacy, and I find that rather fascinating. Also, flying on a broom or on the hippogriffs in Hogwarts Legacy is similar to flying on the legendaries in Scarlet and Violet. I find that very interesting. There's some comparisons. Obviously, completely different games. Pokemon, Harry Potter. But, I just find it rather fascinating that both games, if Hogwarts Legacy still comes out later this year, which if it does, that could kind of, well, maybe not, I'm not sure. Depends on when it does come out, if it does. Like either in December, maybe. I'm guessing at the earliest, I guess, would be the release for Hogwarts Legacy. If not, early next year, like February or March, maybe. But, yeah, and also, like, considering the story of Hogwarts Legacy, I think that's also pretty fascinating, with the whole the goblins, and what their main goal is with the dark magic, and how the dark magic is, causing what the main hero character you're playing as has to do to save the world, essentially, in Hogwarts Legacy, and that'll be rather fascinating. And then in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, we don't know a whole lot about the story in Scarlet and Violet, but obviously with what they said about Pokemon gyms and then the other two quests, it's definitely gonna be an expansive experience for both games, because they're both fully open world, which I'm really excited for. And to a degree, I am more excited for Hogwarts Legacy, but we might be waiting longer for that game. So we'll see how that turns out. And also, speaking of both games in general, I'm really hoping, that, let's see, I'm curious how items are going to be collected in the overworld in Scarlet and Violet, because they still haven't shown that off yet. I'm curious if they're going to be like similar to like all the other Pokemon games with finding items in item balls. But in Hogwarts Legacy, there was gameplay footage shown where you can loot in chests and get items in chests in Hogwarts Legacy, which is kind of a nod to some of the older Harry Potter games that was released for the consoles, for the GameCube. And it's another aspect of games that I've really liked, because the Zelda series, Legend of Zelda, is very well known for the dungeon crawling game experience. And I didn't grow up playing Zelda, but I did grow up playing the Harry Potter games for the GameCube, and those games were very Zelda-esque, and and Hogwarts Legacy is sort of going into that a little bit, which I'm really excited for. Another really good example of a game being very Zelda-esque in more recent years is Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order also open world to a degree, and finding collectibles in these, technological advanced chests in that game. And I've always liked that aspect of video games, collecting items in chests, exploring dungeons, things like that. Because even though I didn't grow up playing Zelda, I did grow up playing Harry Potter, and that's mainly one of the main reasons why I'm more excited for Hogwarts Legacy, just the expansive nature of exploring Hogwarts and all the areas around it, the Whomping Willow, the Forbidden Forest, and all those amazing locations from the movies and the books. Really excited for Hogwarts Legacy. It's just unfortunate that it's possible the game is going to get delayed. And Scarlet and Violet, I'm also really excited for, which are coming out in November. So I'm really excited for that in just 3 months from now. So, yeah, Kama Versus. For me, like I've said, I am looking forward to Hogwarts Legacy a little bit more than Scarlet and Violet, but both games, between Pokemon and Harry Potter, I love both franchises, obviously. Massive Pokemon fan, massive Harry Potter fan. Definitely excited for both. So yeah, that's really all I wanted to do for this video, talking about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet a little bit more, and how the customization of the character's face is actually a lot more fleshed out in Scarlet and Violet, which I'm really excited for. And another comparison to make about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and Hogwarts Legacy is that in Scarlet and Violet, you're in a school, and the school you're in Scarlet and Violet is one of the oldest schools in the world of Pokemon. And what's fascinating, because it's kind of a comparison to make with Hogwarts Legacy, because this school that you're in Scarlet and Violet, I've heard that you can actually take classes with your Pokemon. And obviously within this school in Scarlet and Violet, there's the idea that once you get all 8 gym badges in the game, I'm guessing that the Pokemon League might actually be near the school, and it's in this huge city, which is the main big city of the region, and everything else in the region surrounds the school. So that's another comparison to make with Hogwarts Legacy, because you have Hogwarts, and then you have all the other areas around the school. That's another interesting comparison between Scarlet and Violet and Hogwarts Legacy, is that your character is in school, and that's the main point of both games. School. Which is funny, because, wow. They should have done that in Sword and Shield, because Sword and Shield took place in the Galar region, and the Galar region was based on the UK. They should have done the whole school thing in that game. But yeah, that's another interesting comparison to make between both games. Both games, you're in school. That's interesting because it's just so fascinating, and I really like it. It's funny. And I find that interesting in Scarlet and Violet because you get all these other characters, like you get characters that are interesting. Yeah, that's another interesting comparison between these games, because the school is like, it's one of the oldest schools in the Pokemon world. That's what I heard after the trailer was released the other day, or I think last week. But yeah, it's one of the oldest schools in the Pokemon region, or in the Pokemon world, and it's the focal point of both Scarlet and Violet. And well, not the focal point, but it's like the main hub area of both games, a school that your character is attending, and I find that rather fascinating. So yeah, that is very interesting. So yeah, that should do it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.